Hello everyone, I am Özgür aka Lesyon and welcome to the second entry of the Slay the Party devlog. I'm recording this a week after the first one, so everything you see here was made in just 1 week. It might not seem like much, but I've been only able to spend about 2 hours a day on this project since I have other stuff to work on too. But anyway, let's get back to the main topic. In the last devlog, I talked about the lobby system and there wasn't an actual game yet. This week, I built the skeleton of the game, things like moving on the game board and the turn sequence. This is where we left off in the last devlog, a bunch of squares and not much else. Now, there's even more squares. But the important part is this new button here, roll dice. When you click it, you roll a cute little D12. This is actually a free asset I downloaded from the Unity Asset Store, link in the description. I'll probably replace it with something more stylized when I get working on visuals, but for now it does the job and it's free. As you can see, when you roll the dice, you move forward the same number of spaces. Other than ending your turn and passing it to the next player, that's about all you can do right now. The next player can roll the dice, move, and so on. Now let me explain a bit about how this works. You'll probably notice those tiny blue squares on the board. I left them visible for this video. They are reference positions or slots used to place players when they move to a square. If multiple players land on the same square, they get placed in the next empty slot. Let me show you a quick clip of how that works because it's pretty rare to see naturally in game. To make this happen, each square has a script with a dictionary that pairs the slot positions with strings. At the start of the game, the dictionary is filled with the transforms of those blue squares, and each one is marked as empty, except the last slot. Spoiler alert, there is a reason for that. I am also still using Strange OSC for managing the MVC structure. If you used MVC before, this should look pretty familiar. If you don't know anything about Strange OSC, that's still okay. All you need to know right now is this onInitialize function used here runs when the script is enabled and sets up everything. Now let's talk about the dice roll. In most games, when there is a random physical outcome, like rolling a dice or spinning a wheel, it's usually not truly random. Instead, the result is decided as soon as the action starts, and the animation just shows the result. This method avoids client-side errors. If something goes wrong on the client, like the dice not rolling properly, the game can still continue because the outcome is already set. That's also what I've done here. I've set the rotation values for each number on the dice and use those to control how it rolls. Fun fact, geometry isn't my strongest subject, so figuring out all these rotations took way longer than it should have. There are of course other approaches you can take. For example, placing reference transforms on the dice similar to how I did with squares. But I found this approach the simplest to work with. I am using DoTwin to animate the dice and I added some extra random spins to make it more natural. DoTwin is great for simple scripted animations and I'll be using it for the most of the animations in this game. The link is in the description if you are curious. There is a lot of other background work happening too, like saving player positions, passing turns, and synchronizing everything with the server. For example, when you roll the dice, your new position is updated on the server and the server notifies all the clients to update their visuals. I just don't want to dive too deep into this part because it's mostly function and not that creative. And this isn't meant to be a programming tutorial, but if you are interested, let me know in the comments and I might cover more technical stuff in the future. So that's it for this devlog, I believe. As I mentioned before, this game is going to be a board game, kind of like Monopoly. Hopefully it's starting to look a little clearer where it's going. That being said, I don't want to reveal too much about the mechanics just yet again. This is both a game design and development portfolio project, so while I am coding and recording these videos, I am also testing design ideas and iterating on concepts on the background. You can find a link to my design portfolio in the descriptions. After game starts to take shape a little bit more, I will also share the design process of the game in my portfolio. And in the next devlog, you'll start to see the main concept and some unique gameplay mechanics. I'm really excited to share them with you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.